Hello and welcome to this masterclass. So I'm Rachel Smith, the business grower, and a little while ago I created this environment where every week I showed up and ran a masterclass. And that kind of fell off the radar during the latter part of 2018. So I've been having a really big think about what I can bring to my audience. And what I love to do is share content that's actually going to help you grow your awesome business. So I have brought back these weekly masterclasses. So unless I'm on holiday, every Wednesday at 12 p.m, tune in, because I will be sharing a masterclass with content that's going to help you with your business strategy, your mindset, giving you clarity about what actions to take in your business every single day. We'll be talking about marketing, message, selling, launching, creating offers, you name it, we are going to be talking about it over here. And I have just finished running about 2.5 weeks ago a mindset challenge, which was amazing. And I thought, you know what, let's keep a similar theme about recognizing if you are limiting your success. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So these masterclasses, they will last from anything from 10 to 30 minutes. I understand that so many people will watch the replay back, either here or over my YouTube video channel. That is absolutely fine. If you've got any questions, if there's anything that you want to add to the conversation here, please do. I see all of your comments and I will respond to them as well. If there's anything that I share in the masterclasses that you want to speak to me privately, the best place to contact me is Facebook. So just DM me. I'm really happy to help and support you as much as possible. One of the reasons why I do this is because, like, back in the day, I was the entrepreneur who was working really, really hard in her business. And if I had been given some proper advice, it would have made all the difference. And that's what I aim to do with both my free content like this and my paid content, of course. So what we're going to be looking at today is, it's not the most positive as message, is it? It's to how to identify if you are limiting your success. And the reason why we're going to be looking at this is because we, as individuals, we can believe that there are lots of reasons why we are not successful in business, and one of them, one of those reasons that we might be giving ourselves is that we are blaming the market or what's happening politically in the country where your soulmate clients are hanging out. Or we might be blaming it on the weather, like it's too sunny, my clients aren't going to rock up and listen to a live because it's too sunny and they're all outside enjoying themselves. If you're in the UK today, that's not the case, is it? Or people are on holiday and there isn't anybody around. So there's all sorts of things that, scenarios where we can have a dialogue that's running through our heads where we believe that there's another reason outside of our control that is a reason why we're not generating more profit in our business. And what I wanted to demonstrate today, that there are a number of things that we do as human beings, because we're human, that we can actually change. There's not a whole lot that we can do with external forces, but what we can do is change ourselves. And I'm going to share I'm going to share some content. I'm going to share some specific exercises that I'm going to invite you to participate in after the masterclass. So it'll actually take your learning of this right to the next level. So if you haven't connected with me for a little while, or you've never seen me before and you're wondering who the heck I am and who I work with, I'm Rachel Smith, the business grower. I'm located here in York in the UK. And I work with female entrepreneurs who've been in business for like 1 or 2 years. They're making some money, but they're really looking to up-level their results. And I work with women to take their businesses to generating 5K a month and beyond. And it's very, very exciting work, I can tell you. I'm the founder of the 5K Club, and I'm absolutely passionate about ensuring that women do not stay stuck running a business, that women get to create all sorts of choices through their business success. So let's get into today's masterclass. I'm just going to grab my tea. So let's talk about the scenario that you may or may not be experiencing. And if you are experiencing this, you may be experiencing it at different degrees as well. So it could be right now that you are working really, really hard in your business for very little profit. And it could feel as if you're in a complete cycle of working, and then everything being paid out. And then you're looking at your business and it's like, oh my gosh, where is all the money? And certainly in my early years, I used to be like generating results, but actually when I look at the hours that I put in to the money that I generated and the profit that I generated, it was like nonsense amount of money. You wouldn't pay somebody else that amount of money to generate those results. It could be that you're experiencing your income remaining the same. It could be that when you actually look at your profitability, when you look at your figures, that your income has remained static. And if you don't know what your figures are, I really, really encourage you to go and get familiar with that right now. Right after this masterclass, go and have a look at your numbers, however scary that might feel. Go and look at what you're generating like now, look at what you were generating last year and the year before that, and have a look to see whether or not your income has remained more or less the same. It could be that your prices are too low. Perhaps you've got some prices set, but every time you jump in a sales call, you decrease the prices, you give people massive discount, and you end up doing loads of work for other people and not getting paid your value. You could be kind of highly tuned in to those internal messages that are going on in your head. So this is to help you recognize whether or not you feel right now that there are things that you are doing that are controlling your success. So it could well be that you are busy in your business. However, you've got an internal dialogue that is giving you such a hard time about how rubbish you are, how unsuccessful you are, how you're not like other people. And this dialogue gets louder and louder and louder and louder as the month goes on. And perhaps your scenario is that actually you are spending more time on social media than you are working on your business, even if that is dressed up as working on your business, because that's what you do. You hang out on social media. And to kind of put this into a nice kind of package is to let you know that I have done all of these things. So I'm not standing on any soapbox or judging you all. Hi, Louise, lovely to see you here, darling. But I have experienced all of these situations. So if you're sat there kind of going, oh my God, that's what I do. You know, I berate myself the whole time. Yes, I spend all day on social media looking for the answer. Yes, I put my prices down when I do eventually get into a sales call with somebody. And yes, my income has stayed the same. So these are all really strong indicators that you are limiting your success right now. And there's some exercise that I'm going to give you that's going to help you figure out why that is happening and what you can do to change it, because I am all about you taking action and changing things. Now, the impact of allowing your situation to remain the same is that this cycle will continue. We're human beings, we are creatures of habit, and we have patterns that are these neurological pathways that our brains created. You know, this is our norm. This is what's normal for me. And until you actually identify and make a decision to change things that are currently happening, that are in your control, your cycle will continue, or it will feel quite difficult to break it. And therefore nothing changes. And what I don't want for you is for you to sat here in 3 months' time, 6 months' time, whatever timescale it is, and for you to realise that actually some more time has passed and nothing has changed. And I understand from my own experiences that when you're in this cycle of limiting yourself through your actions and your thoughts, is that your confidence kind of dries up, and your kind of enthusiasm and your belief that you can make it starts to shrink. And as that starts to shrink, so do your actions, so does your visibility, so do your prices, so do your offers. Everything becomes small. And I created a post this morning about this specifically because I understand from the amazing women like Louise that I work with is that none of us are here to play it small. We all started our businesses, even if we started our businesses is accidentally, is that we all started our businesses from a place of passion, of desire, of belief that you were going to make a positive impact, that you were going to be able to create a business with a ton of freedom, that you're going to be able to work with your soulmate clients in the most positive, brilliant way, and that you're going to make, let's say it, a whole heap of gorgeous money doing something that you love as well. So if you're listening to this, if you're thinking, oh, yeah, that feels like me, it feels like I am definitely limiting myself, and I really am in a situation where I recognise this and I'm ready to do something about it, that's great, because I've got some exercises that are going to help you to do this. So here's how you can start to change some of this limiting action that you, and this limiting cycle that you've got yourself into. And again, remember, I'm not judging here because I've done this, it still happens to me. You know, we are human beings, remember, we are creatures of habit, and this has been programmed into all of us very individually, but it has been programmed into us. And that programming takes some time to change as well. So the very first thing is it's really important that you recognize what your limiting kind of behavior is, because when you have this awareness, you can kind of identify it happening, you can catch it out. So if you're in a situation where you're working and you hear that internal dialogue starting up, like berating you, telling you that you can't achieve your dreams, having an awareness to that allows you to interrupt that pattern, and for you to just take a moment and say to yourself, it might sound a little crazy, but look, I hear you and you're wrong. You know, and actually I'm going to actively turn that noise down because you're getting in the way of everything I'm looking to call in. So one way for you to start to identify and recognize your patterns is to map out the last working day that you had in your business. So maybe it was yesterday, maybe it was Friday, at some point recently, is to just spend a few moments after this masterclass actually mapping out how you spent your time in that working day. And this will help you to identify exactly how you're showing up in your business. You will be able to identify any patterns that keep reoccurring. Like, you know, for me, I used to wander off to have a bath in the middle of the day every day. That took at least 90 minutes for me to have the bath and dry my hair and get redressed and reapplied and makeup. That was a good chunk of my 6 hours that I work. Taken up, having a bath. And it wasn't until I realised that that was a pattern that I had created, because I didn't really know what else to do in my day, is that I started to do things differently in my business. So that's the very first exercise, is for you to map out how you spent your last working day in your business. Be really aware of how you were showing up in your business, what you were saying in your business, and what were the actions that you would take in your business. Look at how the time was spent in your business. Now, if I'm having if I'm having a kind of not brilliant day, you know, maybe my energy's gone or something, I can get really, really distracted with other things that I could do. You know, work from home, there's lots of other things that I could be doing. And if that's you, it's really about identifying this, because there's some things that you can do to ensure that when you're feeling like this, when you're recognizing that you are kind of getting into your limiting situation, that you can actually change this. So be aware of what, in that situation, be aware of what you're saying to yourself, be aware of what other people are saying to you, be aware of what you are saying to other people, and be aware, highly aware of the things, the actions and the decisions that you took in your last working day. And the kind of second element to this is to recognize that there's a whole lot of things in the world that you cannot change. Yes, we can influence, but there's a whole lot of things that we cannot change. But actually, everything in your business is in your control. And I talk about this so much, and I know that some people really resonate with it, and other people haven't got to this situation yet. But when I was struggling in my business, when I was working really hard for not very much profit, all it took was for me to make a decision that I wasn't going to play it small anymore or scared, that I was all in. And it wasn't like some big exercise that I had to do. There was no fire walking or sword swallowing or anything like that. It was just me. I can't even remember where I was. It was somewhere in my home. And I just had this moment where I was like, I'm done. I'm done. We're playing it small. I'm done with being scared. I'm all in. And it was like a switch had been flicked. And that's what I want for you to understand now, is that all the time that we're sat in a place of fear, and that fear creates blame in other places, like it's, you know, somebody else's fault, or you invested in a program and it was wrong for you, or you worked with a coach who was rubbish, or you didn't invest in a coach and you should have been on that program, and, you know, blah, 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 or the economy's wrong, or the timing's wrong. Whenever you get into that situation where you are blaming other people, that is really a pattern that needs to be interrupted with you saying, hang on, you know, what can I take responsibility for? And where can I flick the switch and actually make a decision that actually you're not paying any attention to these things that you cannot control, but what you can control is everything that happens in your business every single day. And that is a place of confidence, and that comes from a place of power, because you're not handing your power over to somebody else who is probably not thinking about you at all. They're thinking about themselves. And I really understand this. You know, I have had my fingers severely burned by people, and it has, you know, it has caused me to question like the whole industry, if I'm completely honest. But there are some really good people out there as well. And it's about doing due diligence, isn't it? And about making that decision about who you can and can't and who you will and won't work with. So if you've got any of that lingering, because it certainly lingered for me, that is an indication that you perhaps need to work on that to release that. The third aspect is to change your patterns. So if you look back to the last working day that you've mapped out after this masterclass, and you recognise there's some behaviour in there that you need to change, like maybe you need to not watch Netflix, or to allow family members just to wander through your house when you're working, or to answer the phone to my mum. Oh, my mum, she's a tinker. She's like, oh, Rachel's working for herself, I'll give her a ring up. And it's like, I don't answer her call. And I have spoken to her and said, you know, I'm working. If I can, and I want to, I'll speak to her. But yeah, oh, thanks, Louise. Thank you, darling. It makes working with people like you, and you know, the reasons why we keep going, don't we? But like, change your patterns. Look back through that exercise, that very first exercise, and recognise where you need to change things. Now, I'm not an advocate for saying that you've got to work in here like 12 hours a day and work like a dog and be chained to your desk. That's not a freedom business, is it? That's not the game that we're in. But what I'm saying is, be brave and recognise the patterns, the behaviours that you can change. If you're pinning blame somewhere else, stop it. If you're blaming yourself, stop it. It's like, change your patterns. And the fourth thing, in terms of how you can identify where you're limiting yourself, is really, that's really funny. The washing machine and the dishwasher keep talking to me. They don't. That's just a distraction. But sometimes, you know, we need to get up, stretch our legs, have a break of scenery. That's not too bad. It's, yeah, so Louise says, family is a big one for me. They think I work from home, so it's okay to ring me. Yeah, I just don't answer the phone. I do tell them, but I just don't answer the phone. Unless they ring continuously, then I might pick the phone up because it might be an emergency. But no, I don't. You know, I treat like how I come into this space a little bit like I would if I was working for somebody else. You know, I pay it that level of respect. You know, I respect the fact that I'm here, and I've only got like 5.5, 6 hours. I haven't got very long in my working day, and I really do want to make the most of it because I don't want to work on an evening. So the fourth one is to let go of old ways. Let go of old ways, let go of old messages. So we talked about the neurological pathways that we all have in our brains, and these are pathways that we've created, we've been programmed through lots of different ways. But what we need to do is create new pathways and to show ourselves that there are new ways to work, to be, to feel, to succeed. So it's about letting go of anything that's holding you back. So that could be people. So let's talk about people. So, there could be, Hilly says she's moved upstairs and left a note for her husband. What's that for him to unstack the dishwasher? But it could be that in terms of letting go of old ways and messages and people, it could be that there are people who you follow on social media who trigger the hell out of you. I mean, who gets that? I used to like inwardly groan whenever I saw somebody who triggered me. And it's like, recognize that this is having a detrimental effect on your energy, on your belief, on you, and make a decision to unfollow them. You can always decide to follow them again later on, but it's really worth recognizing that you've got everything within you to change how you feel. So let go of old ways of working that are not working for you. Let go of any old messages. So that internal dialogue that's running through your head, if it's not helping you, if it's not serving you, it's really suggesting that you need to change that. And the first place to kind of come from with that is really look at yourself and come from a place of self-love. And I'll tell you a little story about this, which is a little bit sad, really. But my daughter has, she's 8, and she's got the most amazing group of girls at school. She's never had this horribleness with girls at all. And today when we were walking to school, we were talking about a writing competition that they were writing. And she was telling me about her plan that she's got for her story. And I was saying, oh, that's amazing, that sounds great. And then she piped up that her best friend had copied her. And we got into like an argument about this because she expected me to moan about her friend and say how awful it was for her friend to have done this. And because I didn't do that, she was really disappointed. She felt like I wasn't sticking up for her and defending her. And I was trying to turn it around and showing her lots of different ways to look at it. And this is one of her greatest friends who sticks up for her relentlessly. And it kind of saddened me that we've had like this little disagreement today because she wanted me to get into the energy of moaning about somebody else. And I won't do it. And I won't do it for her. And I'll try to encourage her not to have that kind of mindset that actually when something's going wrong or you're disappointed in something, that you actually blame somebody else. Because who knows who started the first, kind of idea. None of us have had the original idea. We're all building on things that we've seen and that's inspired us. So really, let go of old ways of working with you, old messages and people. And I think it's really important, this is another exercise for you to contemplate is, identify who, what, or that triggers you. So identify what triggers you, what tips you into that place of disbelief about what you can achieve in your business. Is it you? Is it specific messages that you're believing? Is it people? Is it things that people are saying to you? So really look at that. So I think that's a really important exercise to complete, is to identify, what are those old patterns. We're saying they're old patterns because they're not going to happen after today, but identify what triggers you. And then you've got awareness, haven't you? So we said awareness was really key. So the fifth one is, here we are in this new world where we've got all the possibilities in the world laid out in front of us, and we're building belief and we're building desire that we're going to go out there and succeed. But what do we need to keep us on track? So we all get bumps in the road. We all have like little internal voices saying, oh, she pinched my idea. We all have things like that. And the one thing for me that I start with all of my clients, that I start with my whole time, is that you need to know the direction in which you're traveling. And that is about having a vision for your life, because I don't think you can separate the two. So for me, it's always about, if you're looking at truly up-leveling, if you're looking at generating greater success, greater profit, you need to have a vision for your future life that is so juicy you cannot resist it. It's kind of like it makes your daily actions that you're going to take in your business like something that you're just going to do. It's a non-negotiable. It's just something that you're going to do because you can see where you're going. You can see what your future life is going to be like. So I really want to encourage you, if you haven't already, or if you haven't done this for a little while, is constantly remind yourself of the direction that you're traveling in. We talked about those pathways. Those pathways need to have new pathways created to the new world that you are moving towards. And that just means that you can take like aligned action every day. You can remind yourself when the tough gets going, because business is tough, and you can keep on track. So, it's about having a vision, it's about having goals, affirmations, it's surrounding yourself with like-minded people. That's why I love being part of a mastermind that I'm in with Hayley. I love working with my clients in group coachings or masterminds themselves. It's one of the most powerful ways to be held in a container. So really think about surrounding yourself with like-minded people, because like in my world, nobody else gets this. In my real world, nobody else gets what I do. They don't ask me about it. They don't know anything. They can't advise me. So I know that I need to surround myself with like-minded people who understand this crazy world that we choose to be in. And for me, of course, it's about working on your mindset every single day. This is how you are going to create those new pathways to your brain about the direction in which you're traveling. And on that note, I've got the final exercise for you, and that is for you to take action today as your future self. So if after this masterclass you think, actually, what I want to do is sit down and get some clarity about the direction in which I'm traveling, and then look at that. That is your future life that you've just mapped out. And look at that one thing and start to step into that future version of yourself and think, right, okay, how am I going to, today, what action am I going to take as that future version of myself? Like for me today, up until 40 minutes ago, I didn't have a scrap of makeup on, not looking my best today. And so I could have created that whole God, you look a bit ropey today, you're not looking that great for camera, don't go on film, put your masterclass off till tomorrow. And it's no, the future version of Rachel would set up this masterclass, deliver it. It doesn't really matter what I look like. The most important thing is delivering the message and showing up energetically. So that is one of the key pieces that so many people don't do, is that they create vision, and it can be really, really super exciting, and they might have a vision board or put it on Pinterest. But the most important thing is that you start to act as that future version of yourself. Even if you just take one action every single day as that future version of yourself. And this is exactly true of anything. So I'm currently in the market for a new car. Woohoo! So I am visiting all the garages. I'm going and test driving cars and visiting cars and looking at cars, because I know that I'm going to generate the cash that I need to go and get that new car. And that's what you do. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh God, I need loads of money. How am I going to get all that money? And my car's really knackered, I really do need a new car. I'm going to sit here and go, right, okay, what would the future version of me do who has this car? Well, they'd go and drive the car and make that normal for them. So that's what I'm doing. I'm making it normal for me to go and buy these cars and experience these cars and drive these cars. It's exactly the same for you and your business, is that every single day you want to be sat there with your vision glued to your, the front of your windscreen as if you were driving a car, and for you to think, right, this is the direction of travel that I'm moving towards. I'm going to take one action today as that future version of myself. What is that action? It's as simple as that. And you do that every day in your business, and boom, you will be changing behavior. You'll be moving away from limiting your success. You will be just generating amazing results. So if you've got any questions about this, let me know. There's quite a lot of content there. I am content heavy. Anybody who's watching the replay, let me have your thoughts, questions. As I said at the beginning, I do read everybody's comments. And then just as an aside, just after this live, I'm going to write out to my email list a really special offer that I've put together. I've been really busy promoting the 5K Club. That launch closed last Wednesday, and I've been working with the ladies over in the 5K Club. It's been amazing. Now, that is quite a big investment for people. And I understand that lots of people come to me because they want to work on their mindset. They want to change a lot of the things that we've talked about today. So I have dusted off one of my most powerful, amazing courses. And this is a 14-day mindset course, which is super, super powerful. So every day for 14 days, you receive a recording and a mini workbook where you get to work on your mindset. So if you are looking for ways that you can, on a daily basis, improve your confidence, your clarity, your ability to go out there and call clients in, your ability to create amazing offers, this is a great opportunity for you to work on your mindset and to give you that confidence, that clarity, everything that you need to go out there and just increase your success. Now, when I first sold this course, it was like several hundreds of pounds. And it sold really, really well. And one of the best results was a lady who runs a retail shop. She was generating about 1 or 2K a day in her retail shop. And when she started, like halfway through this course, like 7 days in, she started generating 10K a day in her business. So it just goes to show how powerful work on your mindset and how powerful it is to actually move away from the worry and the doubt and actually step into that future version of yourself. Really is. So this course is going to be available for £90. £90! And there are three, you can also do it over a payment option of 3 payments of £30. I will post up the details of that once I've jumped off this live. And it's available today, Thursday and Friday, and that's it. It's gone. So if you want to work on your mindset, really crack generating bigger, better results in your business, really nail stepping into your future life, this is a really, really great course to have in your back pocket, and you can use the exercises time and time and time again. So you pay for it once, but you can use it for the rest of your days. So I will post details up about that. And if you've got any questions about this or anything I've shared today, just pop them in the comments, or if you want to message me privately, do. Have a really great Wednesday, and I look forward to being back next Wednesday with another masterclass. See you then.